foreigner ever to win Best Player in Brazil award. In the history of Brazil, I don't think it's ever happened that a foreigner wins the Best Player in Brazil. And you know, the fans there are absolutely crazy about him. They adore him. You know, and I think that he would have no problem in going back there.
He has no problem going back there. He does have a problem, as far as our newspapers reporting is concerned, with Manchester. Can you explain that? Do you have any idea what his dislike is of the city?
Well, it's not really Carlos. I mean, Carlos has lived there for 4 years, and he's a professional. I mean, I think he's made it very clear. He's a professional. He's been in a very good place. He's captain of City, and his achievements are there to be told. I mean, he's probably one of the best players in the Premier League today, and that's not me saying it. That's everyone saying it. So I think as a professional, he has no qualms. I think in his statement he did mention that, you know, really he has a lot of respect for City, the fans, the owners, but unfortunately his wife and daughters have not been able to adapt. They've lived in Manchester for just over 4 years, and last year they found it very hard. In fact, they returned back to Argentina, and the commute and the situation was very difficult for Carlos from a family and personal perspective. And I think he decided that, you know, he'd like to move somewhere where his wife and 2 daughters would move with him, and they would find it easier to adapt. And whether it was somewhere else in Europe that was maybe, or somewhere else that he could potentially adapt to. And now with Corinthians coming in with this offer, I mean, it's a place that seems to be a very attractive proposition for the family, at least.
Well, let's take a hypothetical situation. Corinthians, we understand this bid has gone in. What if Real Madrid, who Jose Mourinho today has said are lacking a striker, if they came knocking, would South America go out the window for Spain? What are his priorities here?
I think at the moment it's very difficult to start speculating. The reality is that you know, Corinthians has made an offer. We've never spoken to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid have made no offers as such. Corinthians have made an offer, and at the moment we have to see what City will feel and what their reaction will be to that offer. And we'll take every step as it comes, really.
He is a player, though, who likes to move and move regularly. I noted that he signed 14 years' worth of contracts, of which he's only stayed under those contracts for 7 of those years. Can he finally settle down, do you feel? What is this with his wanderlust?
I don't think that he is a player that moves. I mean, the circumstances that have created for him to move. I mean, at West Ham there was no choice but for him to move. He was very happy at West Ham, and he'd settled very well. He has a great admiration for West Ham, and it was unfortunate that West Ham's situation was in such that he had to move. At United, he outdone his contract. I mean, he had a 2-year contract, and he saw it through. You know, in England, really, the only contract that maybe he would be cutting short would be City. So I don't think he is one that has been like that. It's just been the nature of the situation for him. He's a professional. I mean, he stayed in Manchester. He's been living in Manchester for over 4 years, so it's not like, you know, he's been jumping up and down. The only issue is that at United his contract terminated. It finished. He saw it through.
The Brazilian transfer window closes in 8 days' time. Do you think this deal will be done in time?
I think it's a big deal. It's a tough deal because it is one of a very big nature, and it may not be simple. But we wait to see. I mean, we have to first and foremost respect the fact that City have to make a formal answer. If they do accept, then you know, everyone will be running to make it happen. And if they don't, then we'll have to see what other options there would be available for him.
Well, can you say, the final question on Tevez, can you say without doubt that he will not play for Manchester City next season? Is that it? And will he ever play in England again?
I think that it's difficult. At the moment he's a City player, so until he's actually moved, then you cannot say that he will or will not play for City again. I think, you know, at the moment he's a City player, and until the time when the actual move has been made, he will remain a City player. Carlos is one person that I think you all know has been 100% professional to all his contracts. He's always been professional as a footballer. Whether he's wanted to leave or not, he's always given 100% on the pitch. And I don't think there's a person that could say he's never been late for training, never been late for anything. So I don't think there's any person that can say that he's never been anything but sincere and professional as a professional. So until the move actually happens, it's very difficult to speculate on such a thing.
Okay, Keir, let's move away from Carlos Tevez for just a moment and get your opinion on some of the other stories doing the rounds in this transfer window. We start with Arsenal. Do you think they're going to hang on to their captain Cesc Fabregas and Samir Nasri?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one for Arsenal. I mean, Fabregas has been wanting to move for over 2 years, and whoever watches Arsenal can see that, when things start to go wrong, big players that are not happy, maybe their body language has changed sometimes and the feeling changes. So I think it's a tough decision for Arsenal. Of course, he's a player that will be very difficult to be replaced by, but if the heart of a player is to go, then it becomes very, very difficult for a team like Arsenal to hold on to him. As far as Nasri is concerned, I think he will stay, but I'm not sure that they will get the maximum amount of money out of him. Sanchez has just signed for Barcelona and will probably be confirmed straight after the Copa America. So I think where Fabregas is concerned, I mean, it will be a tough move for him as well, because he'll have to find a role there to fit in, with Sanchez now signing for them.
Okay, and let's talk about Tottenham. We know, well, our sources have said that Chelsea have made an increased offer for Luka Modric. Do you think he's likely to leave?
I think that he's made his point very clear that he does want to leave, and Tottenham have made their point very clear that they want to keep him. I think it will be, a battle from here on forward. But I think, if you look at the situation of the player and you look at the situation of Tottenham, I think, it may come down to price.
Okay, Keir, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, thank you very much.